So this poem is about my poetry. I know I wrote one before called My Poetry. So this one is basically the sequel, My Poetry 2. My dream was to write a book, but I do not have the patience for that, so I made a YouTube channel instead. My main goal was just to get my poems out there. Not going to lie, I kind of want to be famous. My poetry is genuine, my poetry is raw, my poetry is my truth, and it is a huge step to share with you. Sharing my poems is like exposing my naked self. So much tension and so many emotions running deep through my poetry. You are meeting the real me. I do not censor myself. I do not leave shit out. I am no longer afraid to speak my truth out loud. I will share my poems standing tall and proud. I will not allow the haters to force me back down. I am Shay. Hear me write and read. Like and subscribe. Come on my poetry journey with me. I do not just write poems for an audience, I also write them for myself. My poems help me cope with my mental health. I write what comes from my heart and my mind. My poetry makes me feel alive. Lately I have been feeling dead inside. You do not have to like me or my truth. I will not be bothered or stopped by you. I have a right to express myself freely, and that right is freedom of speech. I I can say whatever I want to say. I can write my poems any way that I see fit, and this is how I choose to write it. My poetry speaks to things I cannot bring myself to say. My poetry, in fact, speaks for me. I have always been a writer since a young age. I started writing poems when I was 14. I used poetry to escape, to get away. I would say my poetry defines me in some way. If you have followed, liked, or subscribed to my channel since day one, thank you. You are all of the reason I keep writing on Sean. If I ever make it big, I will never forget you all. Sometimes my thoughts race and I cannot get them into a sentence or a line, no matter how hard I try. Writer's block is real. It can make me very stressed and it can make it hard for me to start again. It is a vicious cycle, but like all things, it eventually comes to an end until the next time it happens again. I want to become a well known writer. I want my work published for all to see. I want to pass people on the streets who say, "Have you read Shay's new work?" Smile to myself as I walk by and think to myself, "Yep, that it's by me." I want to look back years from now and say I made it. I accomplished one of my dreams. I never gave up even when my truth tried to test me. I am a small town poet with big dreams and great hopes for my poems. We will see how this journey goes.